Hello, I'm Mr. Joe, and this is my kitchen. I'm going to do a special project here today, and I thought you might like to watch. And maybe, when I'm done, you'd like to do the same project at your own home, with the help of a grown-up. Now, unfortunately, this project requires a lot of counter space, which my kitchen does not have. So, I'm going to have to bring in a table that doesn't normally live in my kitchen. I'll be right back. I am very excited to be doing this project today because it will let me do something that I've never been able to do in the library with my library friends before, and that is show them how to bake something. Something yummy. Oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. And helping me today are two friends who live with me, Michael the Moose and Bonnie the Bear. And what's that, Bonnie? Oh. She says that she has just washed and blow-dried her fur and she doesn't want to get it messy. So, it'll just be Michael helping me today. So first, I need to show you what kind of kitchen tools we need in order to make our cookies. So you will need a large mixing bowl, some small measuring cups, different sizes, or one large measuring cup, a spatula, a mixing spoon, a teaspoon measurer, a tablespoon measurer, and a cookie sheet to put your dough on. Two extra things that you might want but you don't have to have are another mixing bowl and a sifter. I like to sift some of my dry ingredients just to make sure I get all the clumps out, but you do not have to do that if you don't want. Well, it's time to talk about everything we're going to be putting into our cookies. Now, I wouldn't normally be using all of these bowls and measuring cups, but I wanted to measure the ingredients out ahead of time and display them so you could see them all at once, so you can see how many that we're going to be using. As a matter of fact, why don't I give you a little tour? I'll focus on each ingredient individually, tell you the amount that's going to be used, and then we'll go from there. Let me just grab hold of the camera. Okay, we will be using 3½ cups of dry oatmeal, 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips, a cup of butter, or if you prefer margarine, 1¼ cups of firmly packed light brown sugar, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2¼ cups of flour, ½ cup of regular granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of milk, and last but not least, 2 eggs. Wait, that's supposed to be 2 eggs. I think that somebody's feeling he's not getting enough screen time. Michael, do you have any idea where the eggs might be? Thank you. Now I will be posting a list of the ingredients along with the directions at the end of this video, so you don't have to try to remember everything that I'm saying. Now before we start blending the ingredients, I'm going to wash my hands. Michael's going to wash his hooves, and then we'll start. I really don't need to wash my hands, they're actually pretty clean, but it never hurts to do it again. And, well, I have been touching a moose, and well, who knows where he's been, right? I was just kidding. He's actually pretty clean. Right, it's time to mix everything together. Now I put my ingredients together in a particular order. It just seems to work out best that way. Let me take out my watch first so it doesn't get sticky. And away we go. First, we'll put in our 2 1/4 cups of flour, our 1/2 cup of regular sugar, our 1 1/4 cups of firmly packed light brown sugar. Because it's in there kind of tight, we'll need to get a spoon to get it all out. Chop it up a bit. And our 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And crunch it up a little bit with a spoon. At this point, you can do the optional step of sifting together all the dry ingredients we've added so far, using another big bowl and a sifter. We'll just start scooping up some of our ingredients, fill up the sifter, and start grinding. As you can see, sifting is a long, dull process. But if we want all... What? Oh, Michael says he would like to finish the sifting himself. Okay, there you go. Well, while we're waiting for him to finish, wow, you did that really, wow. Next we need to melt the butter. I put it in my microwave on a medium setting for 2 minutes. It might be different with your microwave. Now it's right out of the refrigerator and we don't want it to be cool. We like that you're cool, Michael, just not the butter. We pour our sifted ingredients back into the big bowl. Add our melted butter. nice little stir. Now we're ready for the eggs. Careful, you only want to get the good stuff in. Again, give a stir. You have eggshells on your antlers. Why? He says he's making a fashion statement. Really? So you think that you can get other moose to wear eggshells on their antlers too? Oh. He says he's not really making a fashion statement. He says he was just joking around. Your jokes are as bad as mine. Back to our recipe. We next add the milk, vanilla, and the 3½ cups of oats. I'm going to let Michael put the last ingredient in, the chocolate chips, while I preheat the oven to 350. Thank you. You making another fashion statement? He says he just wanted to see how well he can balance a bunch of chocolate chips on his nose. And now you have a spoon. I'm not sure how many people would consider it challenging to balance a lettuce leaf on your nose. Those are my car keys, but I left them upstairs. They can't be down. How did you make them? Next thing you know, he'll have me believing he has exotic moose powers that allow him to make objects magically appear. Apparently, we have a moose of great mystery living in this house. Now comes my favorite part in this whole project. We get to mix all of the ingredients together really well. And I have a special way of doing that. I'm not going to tell you what that is right now. First, I want to show you what we're not using to mix everything. And I have to get something from a lower cupboard. And once I get it out, I'll meet you down on the floor. So, we are not going to use an electric mixer. We're not even going to use a mixing spoon. We're going to use our hands. All right, let's have some fun. Remember, you're allowed to be messy. I think we should have a little light music to go along with us getting our fingers messy. Maestro? Life doesn't get any better than this. Before we can start forming the dough into individual cookies and putting them on the cookie sheet, we need to clean off our hands a little bit. Now that my hands are less sticky, it'll be easy to take the dough, form it into cookies, and put them on the sheet. You can use a spatula to scrape down the sides of your bowl as you go along if you need to. To make a cookie, just take a pinch, about the size of a small ball, do a little patty cake with it, and put it on the sheet. Another little pinch, patty cake again, put it on the sheet. That's all there is to it. Now this recipe will make between 3 and 5 dozen cookies, depending on how large you make your cookies. Michael, would you like to finish spreading the cookie dough out on the cookie sheet? Oh, he says he has his own special method for forming the cookies. Okay, go ahead. Why am I not surprised? Our cookie sheet is full. The oven is ready. So all I need to do is put them in. But first, so I don't burn myself, I need some oven mitts. Thanks, Michael. Michael really is a magical moose. So I've set the timer for 14 minutes, and now we just have to wait till they're done. Well guys, what should we do for 14 minutes? What, Bonnie? If you'd like to check out other recipes on your own, you can download the ebook, The Complete Baking Book for Young Chefs, using our Overdrive app. And speaking of apps, you can also download our Hoopla, Libby, and RB Digital apps. Just go to our library homepage, go to the Read, Watch, and Listen tab, and down to the digital content link. Between all of these apps, you'll be able to read books, listen to audiobooks, watch TV shows, movies, and explore children's magazines. We're going to pause the filming right here while Michael and I go ahead and form out the rest of the cookies and bake them. Then we have to let them cool, but when we come back, we're gonna taste one. Well, there they all are, and looking rather tasty. Before we try one though, I want to mention that these cookies freeze really well. So, when you're able to have friends come over to visit again, you'll be able to pull out a tasty treat for them. Now I asked Bonnie if she wanted to try a cookie first, but she said she would let Michael. So Michael, take a little nibble, and if you think it's good, take a bigger bite. I think he liked it. As promised, here's a look at the full recipe. The ingredients include 1 1/4 cups firmly packed light brown sugar, half a cup of granulated sugar, 2 1/4 cups flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 cup of butter or margarine melted, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of milk, Michael, I know you don't want to say goodbye, but it really is time to wrap things up, buddy. Sorry. Where was I? Oh, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 3 1/2 cups of dry oatmeal, and a 12-ounce package of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And for the directions, you preheat the oven to 350, place rounded tablespoons of batter on the cookie sheet and mash flat, or like I did, just pinch some off and do some patty cake. Bake for 14 minutes. Keep an eye on it. It's roughly 14 minutes. Makes 3 to 5 dozen cookies. We hope you enjoyed our little project today. Did you like learning how to make these cookies, Michael? How about you, Bonnie? There you have it. They thought it was cool. I almost forgot. I need to give a shout out to Morris the Moose, Michael's stunt double.